So you've been told you have an Airbnb business. I'm here to tell you otherwise. My name is Adil Agha and welcome to The Traveling Host. Today we're going to talk about how this is not an Airbnb business, but actually a short-term rental business. And I've mentioned this time and time again in some of our previous videos. So what does that mean? This short-term rental business has tons of platforms that you can be on. Some of them, to mention, HomeAway, Booking.com, VRBO, TripAdvisor, Expedia. Even though you may have thought some of these only cater towards hotels, they've actually been having short-term rental operators actually market themselves on these platforms for quite some time now. Now, this video is not looking down upon Airbnb because that's still one of my favorite platforms. However, this video is to educate you on all the different platforms that you can be on and how they may benefit you. Pausing real quick to tell you to please go hit that like button, and if you're new, subscribe and hit that bell icon so every single time we create one of these videos, you can be notified. Back to the video. So if I'm to give you a simple example, you've heard of lots of people having Amazon stores out there. Now, if Amazon's the only store that you're on, that's your one point of failure. If tomorrow Amazon was to close down your store for any reason, you're out of business. That's not the right way to set up a business. So basically, why would you not be on eBay or Shopify or even have your own website? All these different things would expose you to a larger market audience, and therefore, if you're not getting a lot of bookings or a lot of orders, in this case on Amazon, maybe some of the other websites would subside and bring you some marketing or some additional dollars. So I want you to think about your short-term rental business in the same manner. I know there's tons of gurus out there that relate to this as an Airbnb business, but I want you to start thinking of this as a short-term rental business, and let's talk about some of the other platforms that can benefit you. Let's talk about VRBO. VRBO has been around for much longer than Airbnb. It used to be a primary platform for cottages back in the day, and therefore, because it's older, it has a bit of an older demographic. Some of the good things about VRBO or HomeAway, however, are you usually get longer duration stays. If you're in a suburban or a rural area, you're in a cottage town, this type of platform will actually do very well with you because of the demographic that it brings. Usually this type of client comes for a longer stay, as well as a lot of the times will pay you a higher dollar value. The next we'll talk about is Booking.com. Booking.com is a platform that was primarily known as for hotels, same as Expedia. So a lot of the operators out there don't actually realize that Booking.com has made a great way into the short-term rental industry. Booking.com right now, I believe, is the #1 competitor to Airbnb. If you guys have noticed, Airbnb often making updates and changes on how the listing looks, or how initially I recall when you would click on a listing which only one image that would be big, and then you flip through. Now, as soon as you get to that first page after clicking on a listing, it shows one primary image and 4 smaller images beside it. These are some industry best practices that they've actually taken from Booking.com. If you've seen all the different cancellation policies that Airbnb has also introduced recently, these are also some of Booking.com's best policies and best practices that they're sharing. So Booking.com and Airbnb, I feel like, at least in my opinion, are the biggest competitors right now. Booking.com and Airbnb have been learning from each other. Booking.com has been taking a lot of what Airbnb is doing to grow their short-term rental portfolio for operators, not just hotels. And Airbnb is taking certain things from Booking.com, such as one of the things that they may be introducing in the future, insurance, that Booking.com's been having for quite some time. So all in all, Booking.com, you still get guests that have a bit of a hotel mentality. They could usually pay you much higher average daily rates just because that's what they're used to. When looking at these different platforms, one of the things that you need to realize is the commission structure is a little different. Airbnb usually would charge the host a 2 to 3% credit card processing fee and 11 to 12% on the guest side, because that's where they would make money. However, Booking.com, the host side is the one who takes all of the commissions. If you've noticed, this is another best practice that Airbnb is actually trying to take from Booking.com and incorporate and allow hosts to take all of the commissions on their end, and obviously you would have to adjust pricing accordingly. HomeAway also has somewhat of a 50-50 in between, where they charge anywhere between 5 to 10% to the host and similar to the guest. So When you're on multiple platforms, you really need to take into consideration what the commission structure for each of these platforms is so that you can circumvent that and price accordingly. Going back to Booking.com, the average nightly rate indeed is high. The guests sometimes, however, you get from Booking.com can be fraudulent because the payment processing is usually done directly with you. What this means is, as soon as a guest books on Booking.com, you have a back-end processor, Stripe is a great one, that the credit card will be pushed forward to and you charge them yourself. So you have to take certain measures, check their IDs, make sure that it's not a fraudulent credit card and that all checks out before charging to avoid any chargebacks. These are some of the reasons why Airbnb took over the market, because it was such a one-stop shop. Think of it as Uber versus taxi, where you simply order something on your phone, the entire transaction's taken within Uber, and you basically get to your destination. Airbnb is a one-stop shop like that, which is why it took the market by storm, because of the ease, and that's why it has such a large audience. However, in 2020, as we're realizing, Airbnb's kind of messed up in a lot of different areas, and it's given these other players to really bounce back. So Booking.com is a very big competitor. If you want those average nightly rates that are higher, usually further out bookings and a different clientele, and you can handle that, Booking.com can be a great other platform to go on. HomeAway, in the past, I believe 3 to 4 months, has now positioned themselves as VRBO and actually are spending a lot of dollars. I've actually had a VRBO personal rep reach out to me to see how we can work on a one-on-one basis to grow on their platform and take some of those other bookings onto their platform. So this being said, guys, at the end of the day, what we're realizing is there's tons of platforms out there that you can be on. The more platforms you're on, the more market share you have. If there's 1,000 people that are seeing your ad on Airbnb, another 500, another 600 can see your ad on these other platforms. Last but not least, I will mention that having your own website is very crucial. If you're set up accurately as a business, and that's something that we teach again and again on this channel and in our private course called SDR Masters, I'll leave a link down below if you want to check it out. We have a 1-hour absolutely free webinar. Your own website is something that is for longevity of your business. Once you start getting these clients off of these platforms, you can start collecting their emails, the database to now do direct marketing, or if they ever want to book with you in the future, they can directly book with you on your website. And you can use the help of a lot of easy third-party tools out there with literally clicking a 2-3 button and creating a website. And leave some comments if that interests you, and we can start having a conversation in regards to that. This video is just to let you know that Airbnb is not your one-trick pony. There's tons of other platforms out there. We've just mentioned a few, and if these interest you, again, let's get the conversation started. Put some comments down below if you have any questions, and if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up because that'll help this video a lot, and we'll see you the next time. Thank you.